right, y'all. So we're back for another at-home workout. Really been enjoying these lately. It's kind of like I don't know. It's weird because like, as far as the content is concerned, I did have someone express that they like this kind of content better. It's more original, you know. Now everybody is doing Sam Sulek's format, which is dumb to even call it that. It's hardly a format at all. But everyone's doing the car talk and the gym video, mic'd up gym videos. So this is kind of its own thing. We're just kind of doing our talk while we're working out. Don't have to ride to the gym when you're not going to the gym, right? But yeah, it's a little more original. Ultimately, though, the videos with the car talks tend to do better. I think the gym environment is more dynamic. It's kind of more exciting. And also, the car talk videos generate a ton of hate. And the hate puts a lot more eyes on me. So right now, my most viewed video, which also is the video that got the most hate, it's one of my arm days. That video netted me like 75 subscribers in one day. So that was like the best I've done so far. But at the same time, in the terms of monetization, all those videos are demonetized because the music at the gym is copyright. So if I did ever want to make money, which is not the goal with these videos right now at least, I'm just kind of sharing the journey to be more social and keep myself accountable. But yeah, if I did want to make more money, it's like those videos get more views, but I also can't make money off of them. So, yeah. But yeah, the gym is nice. It kind of like takes me away from home. So it gets me like more locked in to some degree, you know, because I'm there to put in work and that's the only thing I'm there to do. Whereas here I could kind of like venture off. I could go see my dogs, my girlfriend, whatever. But at the same time here, it's kind of meditative, you know. I don't have any music playing. I'm already home. It's super convenient. I have the sauna heating up. I didn't edit my full day of eating video at work today like I normally do, so I have to edit my video. So this saves a lot of time as well. So I have time to edit my video. I have time to sauna, shower, cook a good meal, and I'll do all those things probably in the time it would have taken me to actually go to the gym. So that's pretty awesome. But I can't say that I don't like the gym as well. I like both. But today, we're going home workout. This Blackwing bench from Rep Fitness is amazing. One of the best things I have in this gym. I have the super wide 14-inch pad. Provides a ton of stability for bench press. And the workout's just getting started. I haven't done anything yet. So I've talked about this before, but I warm up with 2 plates. Then I typically go to 275 and then 315. But I think today I'm just gonna do 2 plates and then go right into 315. And I'm gonna do kind of like my back day yesterday. I'm gonna do 4 movements. I'm gonna do 2 working sets of each movement, so it can be pretty quick. Yesterday, the whole workout the video was like 43 minutes long, but like I'm talking right now, that takes time. I'm not actually working out right now. So the workout was about, I don't know, it wasn't very long, maybe 35 minutes. And it was very effective. So, all right, let's get into this bench pressing here. Yeah, and the reason that I start with 225, if you're new here, and you haven't heard me say this before, is because, I could probably do it about 20, 25 times, I don't know. I haven't done an AMRAP in a while, but I don't see the purpose of starting with less weight than that, you know? It's like, Some people, I see people warming up with just the bar, and they put a plate on, and they do 185, and then they do 225, and then they do 275, and it's like, if you're strong, just be strong. I don't know. And maybe I'm wrong. I'm not saying in any way that that's the optimal advice. Like, obviously, what I'm saying is warm up less. That might be a way to get injured. But so far, knock on steel, I haven't gotten injured. So that's what we're doing. Now this is going to be, I think this is going to be the first time that I go from 225 just straight into 315. So, we'll see. Like I've said before, I'm never trying to get injured. These are the more flexible SBD wrist wraps. And someone suggested I wrap them a little bit higher up on my hand. So I'm gonna try that out. But the other ones I was using were the stiff ones. And I didn't find that they were too stiff. They couldn't conform to my bones. Because I have really small wrists. And I have pretty meaty hands and pretty meaty forearms. So I think it's just the layout of how small my wrist gets. Those stiff wrist wraps just can't. They're trying to hug my hand and my forearm. And the actual wrist part doesn't get tight enough because my wrist is so small. So these flexible ones do a much better job. But I just wrap them a little higher. And that does feel more stable, okay? And I don't know, I see some people leave these wrist wraps on like in between sets. I wrap them so tight that my hands start to turn blue. So I gotta take them off between sets. I don't know how people do that. But we're only doing 2 working sets here. So you're seeing real time. Like you're seeing how much time has elapsed. Now, what I don't know, I might have to stop the camera at some point because I think I still have the other workout video on here, which is like a 42-minute video. And I don't want the memory to fill up. So I'm gonna have to stop the camera to delete that video. But let's see what we can do with 315. No spotter, no safeties. The way to bench safely if you have no spotter and no safeties and you want to go heavy is to just know your limits. Just stop before. Like stop 1 rep shy of failure. Don't try to push it. And I'll also say, if you are bench pressing, do not put clips on the bar. Because if I were to get in a bind, I can dump the weights off, if I were to just push it too far. But if you have clips on the bar, you are fucked. All right. All right, so you heard the advice I just gave, and I just almost put myself in a bind. Oh, wow. It was kind of interesting, though, because that rep was a do or die rep. The thing is I guess I'm not used to the cutting weakness, but I at one point did this for my goal was to hit 12, and I think I did 11 and a half reps. But now on the cut, inevitably, when you lose weight, you get weaker. And now, you saw I barely got the 7th rep there. I will also say, I don't know why, but the weights do feel heavier at home. I know they're not, but I feel like at the gym I could maybe it's the adrenaline from being around people. I think I could have squeezed out a couple more at the gym. But yeah, I guess mentally, I knew I should have stopped, but mentally, I was like, you gotta get at least 7, bro. And typically I use I am gonna go down in weight because I want to get about 8 reps. But typically I use the bench press as a gauge of strength, or to gauge my strength, I guess I should say. I don't use it for hypertrophy. Like in my mind, I'm not thinking, all right, I gotta grow my chest with this bench press. I'm thinking, okay, I need to lift as much weight as I possibly can. So, you know, that's just the way I see it. I use the other movements. All right, if I do, what I'm gonna do, and I've really thought about getting rid of these 35-pound plates. I'm gonna put a 35-pound plate on there. So I'll go down 20 pounds, and hopefully I can squeeze out another 8 reps. We'll take an adequate rest period. But I'm sure y'all can, I know y'all can see all this, but, and hopefully the exposure's right. But one thing that's cool about the home gym is the lights are dimmable, so I don't have to keep fucking with the exposure of the camera. I can just like turn the lights up or down, which is pretty cool. But these black plates right here, okay, these Troy plates I got from my parents' home gym. They graciously donated them to me, saved me a lot of money. But these black plates are the ultra thin Rogue plates. They're beautiful and they're awesome. And in my dream aesthetic gym, those would be the only plates I have. These cap plates came from offshore. So we bought this like really cheap weight set for one of the platforms offshore, and they ended up shutting that one down. They sent all this stuff back and nobody was coming to pick it up. So I took these plates. I got some 45s, 5s, 10s, 2.5s, and that saved me a lot of money as well. But these are the least aesthetic plates. And 35s are just kind of oddball plates. Like, I don't know if one day when I have all Rogue ultra thins, I don't know if they make 35s in those, but you can easily just put a 25 and a 10, you know? There's like almost no need for a 35. It's a weird interval. It's like if they made a $15 bill. That's strange. You could just do a 10 and a 5, you know? All right. Now, it's interesting also doing all this talking between sets. Yeah, you're like, you can be weak due to respiratory fatigue, like not catching your breath. And I feel like I'm not catching my breath because I'm talking so much, but whatever. Whatever. And we'll see. Once again, I'm going to say, do as I say, not as I do. Because I'm going to say that you shouldn't push yourself in an unsafe situation with no spotter and no safeties up. You shouldn't push yourself to failure. But last time I was fighting for my life for that 7th rep. I really was. Oh, you know what? I'm going to stop this camera real quick before we get into this set, just to delete that other video so the memory card doesn't fill up. All right. We are good to go. We should have plenty of memory. Just thinking, I felt so great today. I felt so great today because I saunaed last night. So the sauna, it's great to do at night because it heats you up and then your body's response is to like cool itself down. And when you're getting ready for bed, your body like cools itself down. So it really helps you sleep. But the sauna immediately after, to me, is very fatiguing. Like when I get out of the sauna, I'm fucking drained. So I would never want to do the sauna like in the morning and then go to work or something. I think that would be miserable. But the next day after the sauna, you feel really energized. So my preferred time to do the sauna is at night. It gets me really worn out. One, post-workout, it dilates the blood vessels and helps, in my opinion, with muscle growth. Just as ice baths inhibit muscle growth, I think the sauna helps promote muscle growth and nutrient delivery to where the nutrients need to go. Then you hit the shower, you feel fresh, but you feel empty and tired. You hit the sack, you fall right asleep, and you wake up feeling so rejuvenated. Just a great feeling. All right, this is gonna be the last working set. The second and last working set here. So, and I do think one of the reasons the weight feels heavier is just because I'm not used to this setup. This bench pad is pretty firm, which is probably better. But at the gym, the pad's really soft. I feel like my feet are a little more planted on the ground in the gym. I just need to get used to this setup. So anyway, last working set. All right, we're gonna call it at 7. After all this time, I'm still trying to learn how to bench press. So I was benching wrong like my whole life. Very like arms out, through the shoulders, no leg drive, not retracting my scapula, not pressing my back into the bench. It was a very like bro style of bench press. And I trained myself that way for a long time. And I think I benched up to like 325 with that form. But as soon as I actually started implementing technique, my bench shot up to like 365 pretty quickly. And then I kind of had to work for a while to get to 405. And I ended up taking some enhancements, and on video, I got to 435, but in real life, I benched 445 easily. I mean, easy enough to where I had 455, and I was setting that PR, and then I started getting some side effects and ended up getting off, and it really kind of messed with my mental for a while. But I was certain I was gonna bench 500 pounds when I had a little extra help. But it is what it is. I don't know why I keep wrapping these wrist wraps up. I think I'm just trying to keep myself occupied. All right, we're gonna move this bench. We're gonna incline it, and we're gonna use our 100-pound dumbbells for some incline press. I think that'll be enough. I just have to go a little bit slower. I want some I want to go to the gym today, and instead of doing bench press, do flat dumbbell. And I want to use the 150s, because that's the highest they go, just to say I did it. But I definitely in here, I need like I'd really like 110s, 120s, 130s, 140s, and 150s. But that's a lot of fucking money. That's a lot of money. It takes up a lot of space. So we'll see. Let's get this camera set up in a different spot here. I'm just gonna lock this door because my girlfriend likes to be cute and pop in here and surprise me with the puppies. And as much as I love that, oh y'all, I don't know if y'all, I think y'all can see this. This bench, it has a no gap adjustment. So there's never a gap in the bench, which is amazing. This is such a great bench. We'll go there. I don't like a crazy high incline. I'm not trying to do shoulders. I have a separate day for shoulders, right? Oh, look. Yeah, that'll be enough, I think. There we go. So much adjustability with this bench. It's amazing. All right. And because do I want the camera right there, or do I want it more like, I need to clean this freaking gym out, y'all. If y'all are keeping up with these videos, say, bro, clean your fucking gym. Because it's really inhibiting. It's really inhibiting where I can actually put the tripod. I have so much junk right here. I kind of, you know, as much as I complain about the price of the, well, not complain, but gym equipment's very expensive. I think, you know, for anyone, I mean, unless you're just like a multi-millionaire. I looked at a hamstring curl machine, a commercial one that I wanted. It was $5,000 for just to work your hamstrings. Crazy. But yeah, as much as like you try to spend your money wisely, I can look around and see about $2,500 right off the bat that I wasted. So that could have been a pretty, they do make a pretty decent, it's pretty nice. Seated hamstring curl and leg extension hybrid that comes with the weight, like the weight stack. You don't have to plate load it. It comes with the pin and the weights. And it's, I don't know if it's commercial grade, but it's very nice. And it's about $2,500. So if I wouldn't have bought a few pieces of equipment in here, a few things that I don't use at all, I could have that instead, and I would use that. That would probably be the last piece of the puzzle where I really wouldn't have to rely on the gym. Because basically, for the gym, I only really need to go to the gym for leg day. At one point, I don't know. I just realized I have these little like, I'll show y'all. I have these little pads, and what these are for are like, when I do my lat pull down, you screw them into here, and you put your legs underneath them to where they hold you down. Or if you want to do like Bulgarian split squats, you know, you can put it on the rack and put your foot on the top of this. But I think I could sit the bench up and put these in the rack and hang my arms over and do preachers. And that's one thing that I don't have here. But I think I could use these to do effective preachers. And, whew, fuck that up. Okay. But yeah, and that's something I really feel like is missing from my arm day at the home gym. So I'm gonna try that next time I do an arm day, because I think that's a solution. You just gotta get a little creative with stuff, because it's not what that's made for, but it could be used for that. But yeah, I can do pretty much anything in this gym. If I wanted to do more free weights for my legs, I would literally never have to go to the gym, other than just for the enjoyment of being a little more social. All right, so we got the hundreds right here. We're gonna go slow and in control. Try to get at least 8 reps. The point of doing bench first was to pre-fatigue myself. Because if I started with this, I'd really want like 125s. And I'm not gonna warm up because we already warmed up. And that just saves time. And I need to save time because I talk so fucking much, I waste time. All right. All right. That felt great. You don't even have to count the reps. I don't know how many reps I did, but I know that I went slow. I tried to explode as much as I could on the concentric and go slow on the eccentric. And one thing is, like, if you're working out, I think a lot of people want to end the rep on the upward. So I'll give you an example with air. Let's say you do your last rep, you fight it, oh, you got it. And people are like, fuck, I'm done. Boom, they get, they either throw the weights down or they bring them to their knees real quick. But the eccentric is better for muscle growth. So if you fight all the way to up here and you get it, lower it down slowly. Lower it down as slow as you can and get that last bit of workout and then drop them. But I feel like I see that all the time. And I'm guilty of it myself. This is just something I'm implementing now. But yeah, they fight that last rep and they're like, oh, I got it. Throw the weights down. Or, oh, I got it. Whoa, get out of here. But no, you got it. Now control it. You're stronger on the eccentric. You are. That's how, I've talked about that on back day. That's a great way to get better at pull-ups. If you can't do a lot of pull-ups, kick yourself up, skip the concentric, kick yourself into the up position, and then slowly lower yourself down. Kick yourself up, slowly lower yourself down, and the eccentric will carry over. Because you are, I forget how much stronger you are on the downward portion, but you are considerably stronger. That's why it's really nice to have like a training partner. And it's just cutting off the circulation in my hands. You can see how, I don't know if you can see how blue my hands are. I can't keep those on. But yeah, if you have a training partner that's helping you do assisted reps, that's like one of the benefits, like you can't, if you're on preacher curl, you can't curl it up. Oh, they help you curl it up, but then you gotta lower it down. One thing you could do is on certain moves, if you're on a preacher curl machine, say, where it's tethered together, you could curl up with both hands and then lower it with just one hand to where you're overloading that one muscle. And then use the other hand to assist yourself. Or if you're doing single arms, you can't do it anymore, assist yourself, let it go. Assist yourself, let it go. So there's different ways you can do it if you're by yourself. I typically like to work out alone. So maybe I should look into more ways to do that now. More ways to push the training further when you're all alone. I used to try to think about machines you could make that would do that, but I can't really think. You know what? The tonal? I think you could do that with the tonal. You know that thing that sticks on the wall and it uses magnets as weights? Because I'm pretty sure there's a, on the bar, there's a safety button that drops the weight. So if you wanted, I'm not sure exactly how the machine works, but that's one, if it does work like that, that's one way you could do it. But you could if you can't press it up anymore, you could drop the weight with the button, press it up, re-engage the weight, lower it. Disengage, raise, re-engage, lower it. So I don't know, training's pretty cool. It's funny, on one of my videos, someone said, yawn, the video is boring. And it's yeah, it is kind of fucking boring. It's up, down, rest. Up, down. It's so much working out's repetition. I get why some people don't like lifting weights. And for those of us that do like lifting weights, it's kind of at first it's hard to fathom. How can you not like lifting weights? It feels so good. But it is so repetitious. It's so there's so much monotony to it. It's not like going to play tennis or something. It's not competitive really. It's just you and your mind and the fucking weights, and you got to be a pretty focused individual. I almost feel like a lot of people self-diagnose themselves with ADD, but I almost feel like you can't have ADD to lift weights because you have to really lock in, Anyway, last set here. All right, let's go. We did that. Now what do we want to do? All right. Is that going to be in the way? I don't think so. I think we can come up far enough to where that won't be in the way. So, this is one of the reasons. Is that in the same spot? Let's do this up one more. This is one of the reasons I bought this rack with a double cable, because double cables are the shit. Presses, flies, reverse, flies on delts, rear delts. You could put them down low, do laterals at the same time. You could do like a double back movement, grab a bar, tether them together, and do like a cable barbell row. I mean, there's just, if you're working out with a partner and y'all are doing single arm stuff, y'all can both be doing it at the same time. It's just pretty fucking versatile piece of equipment. In my old home gym, I had a functional trainer with double cables, and I had a power rack. It takes up twice as much space. So the fact that they came out with this is pretty amazing. All right. Now I don't need to do a warm-up set here, but I don't know. Like I said, this weight stack is a lot different than the one at the gym, so I'm not 100% certain. Man, hold on now. I'm not 100% certain how much weight I do on this movement, so that is why I just put it on 40 pounds and we'll see. And I might end up having to move this bench, but let's see if the angle's right. I'm framed up good. That's not enough weight. So, being that I'm warmed up, I'm not gonna waste time on warming up. Like, I'm not gonna sit there and do 10 reps of that. I'm just gonna go a couple reps, gauge where I think my strength is at, move this back a little more, and I'll try again. Does this? Hang on. That'll be less in my way for sure, I think. Yeah. That bench is highly adjustable. It's a big ass bench and it's fucking heavy. But it is the shit. I did not. That's crazy. I did not expect that to be that heavy. All right, let's do this. Let's do this. So I was on 40 and I went to 65 because 40 seemed like nothing. And 65, I looked like Yannick. If y'all watched that chest day with Yannick and you saw him get on the cables, he was like, I'm a weak little bitch. I looked like Yannick in here on the. All right. So now we're on 55. Let's see how this goes. All right, we're gonna move this just a little bit. All right. There we go. My frame good? Yeah, sure. Yeah. From a bodybuilding perspective, all right, so from a bodybuilding perspective, it's probably not optimal. Like it's using a lot of your body to stabilize. With bodybuilding stuff, you want to be like as stable as possible and only be hitting the muscle you're working. But from a functional standpoint, that's the shit. I really like movements that are compound because they make you feel so put together. They make you feel so much more athletic. Like, yeah, isolated movement gives you a crazy pump because you're only working that muscle. But like doing that makes me feel like I could just like fuck somebody up, you know? So background on me, when I was like in my 20s, and if I'm overexposed, let me see. I can just lower it in post. When I was in my 20s, I trained under a guy that was very against isolating muscles because no muscle works in isolation. He was very holistic, very functional. Lunges, squats, deadlifts, you know. Not even bench, he even thought that bench press, if you think about it from a practical standpoint, when in life are you laying on your back and you're gonna have to like press something off of you? Most of the time you're gonna have to push something. You're gonna be in space and time, you know? You have to drive through your legs into your core and you have to push. So he was a big advocate of cables. That's actually why I bought my functional trainer in the first place. Because he was like, yeah, you shouldn't be bench pressing like a fixed bar on, like, even though a bench press is a compound movement, like it has more stabilization than a machine. He was like, you should be, you know, standing with cables and pushing. There's a lot of stuff like that. Like for the back, you would like grab a cable like this and you would pull. I'm not gonna do it right now because it's not back day, but you would pull the cable. And I mean, if you think about it, if you're gonna pull something down, so you're gonna grab somebody by their fucking shirt and throw them to the ground. It's like, that's what you're gonna be doing. He was all about using your core and your stabilizers and your whole body as a unit versus isolating. So I worked out like that for a while, and I do think it inhibited my gains from a hypertrophy standpoint for sure. Because like I said, in bodybuilding, you wanna isolate. I'm just gonna move that all the way over to the side. I didn't think to do that earlier. I was fucking straddling that motherfucker. We're only doing one more set here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do one more set here, and then I'm actually gonna lower these, sit the bench up, and I'm gonna do cable flies with my back stabilized, so it'll be a more isolating movement. So his phrase, the guy I trained under, his phrase was, if you're gonna isolate, first integrate. So he didn't necessarily completely oppose isolation, but he did want you to first integrate, use your stabilizers, use all your muscles to do something. And then if you wanna just kind of like hit it even harder, then you could hit something in isolation. But he was very much about knowing how to use your whole body, not just doing like isolation movements. And he was in great shape, and he still is in great shape, and he's like 65, no hormones, nothing. He's like a nutty organic, like over the top organic, no EMFs, no radiation. He doesn't use microwaves. Like he's over the top, but he looks great. All right. It's nice to see the chest striations. Just try to think about that slow eccentric. Huh? Yo, that feels really good. Like I feel it all the way on the outside. I guess it's kind of doing the shoulders, the core, the leg drive. It's not working your legs really, but I can tell I'm using them until I have my feet firmly planted on the ground. And I'm not encouraging, I'm not encouraging anyone to stop isolating their muscles. You basically train how you want to train, like for whatever you're doing. And if you want to do bodybuilding, yeah, do a lot of isolation stuff. Train like a bodybuilder. If you're an athlete, you might want to train more like an athlete. More compound stuff. Use your stabilizers. Be more athletic. I'd say for like everyday life, it'd probably be better to do like compound stuff. Well, it's hard to say. It's really hard to say because we don't really have to do much these days, right? Like, when do you have to do much at all? We have like fucking machines and technology. Like, when are you ever having to move something really heavy? Like, I've found my strength comes in handy, like setting up all this gym equipment. I literally carried my sauna in piece by piece, like these panels. That last panel was like 100 pounds, big and awkward. Anything that says team lift, I can do it myself, which is pretty cool. But you could also just call a friend. It's definitely not necessary. You could also just be like, hey buddy, can you help me move this? And then you don't have to be that strong at all. So there's not much like functionality in being functional. Not these days, at least. Back in the day, it might have been a little more important. But you could work out and like you could isolate all your muscles and be really fucking huge and not mobile at all and live a perfectly fine life, you know what I mean? I guess functionality doesn't matter as much these days, but I'd say for overall, health and physical fitness, probably the best things you could do is like functional training, where you are using your whole body as a unit. Maybe like yoga, where you're really training your like balance and stabilizers and kind of endurance, maybe like calisthenics and stretching. That'd probably be the best way to be like extremely well-rounded. But you more than likely won't get huge like that, so it just depends what your goal is. And my goal right now is to be huge. I mean, I probably won't ever get any bigger than this. But, is this good? Yeah, sure. Yeah, I probably won't get any bigger than this, really. I mean, if I do, I'm 35, If I do get bigger than this, it might be like, let's say by the time I'm 40, I'll put on like 5 more pounds of muscle. Unless I start saucing up again. But even that's not sustainable. At some point, you lose that. So it's a pretty interesting, I'm gonna lower this just a little bit. It's a pretty interesting thing. Did I even have to do that? Probably not. Probably fucking not. Yeah. And it's funny because okay, so about being like enhanced versus not enhanced. Okay, so you're gonna, you should only compare yourself to who you were yesterday, right? That's the saying. The bigger you get in your prime, the more you're gonna look like you've fallen off. You know what I mean? Like, Jay Cutler's in really good shape for his age. But compared to when he was Mr. Olympia, he looks like shit. Some people might think he looks better, but from a bodybuilding standpoint, he looks much worse. But if he had been natural the whole time, he would have never gotten that high, so there wouldn't be that much of a downward fall. You know what I mean? So, yeah, you can get insanely jacked. and just look like out of this world. And, you know, especially in your prime, when your body wants to be that way, and you take some stuff and you just get like fucking crazy. But it's all gonna go away. I mean, unless you just push it to the limits until you die. I guess at that point, it's up to you, you know? But I think inevitably, even if you would keep upping the dose, age catches up to you. So, you know, whatever you want to do. But yeah, that is a pretty interesting topic of discussion, because the further you push it, the better you look, the more you're going to fall off. So do you want to have like I don't know, do you want to kind of always look good and like always compare yourself to the day before and pretty much be like, you know, an even keel? Or do you want to take it up here and then just fade off over time pretty drastically? It's whatever you want to do. All right. Oh yeah, baby. We're gonna move the seat up a little bit, but double cables are the shit. That feels so good. I almost want to do fucking 3 sets, but I'm not going to. I'm just gonna do 2. And I do have the seat at a slight incline here, because I do like to kind of squeeze my lower pecs more when I do this. Yeah. What I found, man, these wide ass nipples that I have, it's like the tank can't contain them. My nipples need to be like about this much more inward, and then I would never have nip slips, but I wasn't built that way. I wasn't designed that way. I got nipples like a fucking pug's eyes. They're like, man. Oh man, that was a good analogy. I just thought about that one. That was good. That's legitimately what I have. I have pug eye nipples. They're like pointing, and we don't know which way they're looking. You know what I mean? All right, we're gonna do one more set, and then we are done. We are done. Sit in the sauna, sweat it out, take a shower. I have 2,000 calories I can eat. I've only eaten 1,100 calories today. Life is good. I'll probably finally eat that. I have a Ninja Creamy, and I put some goat milk. I blended it up with a red velvet cake, and I froze that like, I don't know, over a week ago, I think. Yeah. It was over a week ago, because I got that red velvet cake for my birthday. But it's goat milk red velvet cream cheese ice cream. And I could literally eat that shit because I have so many calories left. So that's probably what I'll do, because I've been looking forward to that for a while, and I just haven't been able to fit it in because I've been kind of going rogue with other stuff. Yeah. It's pretty interesting too. Like, I'm on a cut, and I don't really know what I'm on a cut for. Like, nobody, I mean, the fitness industry would say I'm fat, sure. If I were to, you know, I don't know. I'm probably like 16 weeks out from a bodybuilding competition, if not more. I'm not doing one, but like if someone were to look at me, they'd probably say I'm 16 to 20 weeks out, you know? But from a general health standpoint, I look really good. I mean, I do. It's just like, I mean, we know that most women prefer the dad bod anyway now. I got a little fluff on me, okay? But I'm also extremely vascular and muscular. Today, actually, we had a hotshot driver had to pick up some stuff for us, and he started talking. He was like, "You look like you work out a lot," and I was like, "Every single day." And he was like, yeah, my doctor said I need to start working out more. So we started talking about working out. But that's the general feedback that I get. I'm jacked. I look like I work out. Like, that's what people tell me, you know. No matter how much I feel like shit about myself, or I you know, have body dysmorphia and kind of wish I was bigger and leaner and had different insertions and smaller waist and wider shoulders, you know. It's all these wants that we have. To the everyday person, they're like, dude, you're fucking built, you know. So, it reminds me of have you ever seen Harold and Kumar? I forget which one it was, but they're in jail, and there's like a black guy in there, and he, like, you know, it's like the typical, like, he got like beat by the cops and stuff. It was like unjust, and he's like, I've been, you know, discriminated against my whole life. I forget what the quote is, but he just talks about all the hard shit he's been through, and then he's like, but I got a big dick. So it makes it okay, you know, like everything's all right, because oh yeah, it's really being well endowed, it really does make life a whole lot less stressful. All right. And if you get tired on these, or your muscles start fatiguing, you could always press it for a few more. Whoo! Which, that's a pretty interesting thing now, I'm thinking about it. The scientific stuff, you know, is talking about how long length partials is like good for muscle growth. The eccentric portion, the lengthened portion, is the more important part of the movement versus the full contraction. And a lot of people are like trying to like do the flies one arm at a time so they get maximum contraction. And they're stopping, you know, before, you know, they're stopping when they can still get like at least this. So everyone might be doing it kind of wrong, you know. If you can sit there and do this, that might be really great. I mean, I was feeling a good stretch on the pecs. But that is it for the workout. We might get we'll get like I don't even like doing the, I'm literally looking at the pump the whole workout. So for me, mentally, to get a pump check is completely unnecessary. But for the sake of a cool thumbnail, probably be good to get a little something, all right? Am I right? Am I right? Wait, is this even level? I like taking y'all with me, like through setting up the camera and stuff. That's kind of fun. But see this, like, I could change the exposure of the camera, sure. Or I could walk over here and dim the lights. You know what I mean? I could just dim the lights. A little nip slip there. All right. I don't know. Does the chest look big like this? This side portion of my chest has gotten considerably bigger. I was hoping it would like push my nipples more inwards, but the pug nipples are here to stay. The pug eye nipples. I love in Sam's videos, people are like, why is bro breathing so hard? He's on so many steroids. He's about to die of a heart attack. It's like, you try fucking flexing after you just worked out and holding all your muscles tense, holding your breath to make your veins pop out. You try that shit. Try keeping your breath. All right, we're just gonna, let's do. I don't know what looks good or stupid. Y'all are gonna see all of it. That's one of the funny things about watching these videos. Y'all are gonna see all the poses, the good, bad, and the ugly. But I'm gonna pick the best one. I'm gonna scroll through the video, pick the best shot where I look the absolute best. Then I'm gonna probably bring down the exposure, increase the clarity of the video, of the image a little bit to really make the lines and the shadows pop. It's not photoshopping. Photoshopping would be like actually trying to make the muscles look bigger or bring your waist in. We know some of these influencers do this. I don't Photoshop any of my stuff, but I do change the exposure and the shadows. I just like, basically, you kind of have to do that. When you get into photography, if you ever get into photography, you'll see that. Like you see something with your eye and you take a picture and it doesn't always look like what you saw. So a lot of times, sometimes photography is making the image look like a lot better than it looked in real life. But a lot of times what I found is photography is actually trying to make the image what you saw. Because you see something in real life and the camera can't actually capture it correctly. And you have to bring the color back in. I used to do, I had an Instagram with like, back in the day when it was hard to grow Instagram, I had an Instagram with like 15,000 followers. I built it pretty quickly. And all I did was drone photography. And what I found is like, I would see the most beautiful, I'd do sunsets. I would see a beautiful sunset. I'd fucking fly my drone up in the air, take a picture, the cityscape, the skyline. And I would put it on the computer and it looked terrible. And I was like, why doesn't this look right? And I'd bring it into Lightroom and I'd be like, this was more orange. This was more pink. This was, it was dimmer, like the way the sun rays went. You can make it, you can recreate it back to what you actually saw. So just keep that in mind. A lot of times the editing of the photo isn't to make it look unrealistic. It's actually to make it look more realistic. So that's it for the workout, y'all. I'm going to go ahead. Let's do a few more just in case we didn't get a good one. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go sauna, and I'll see y'all in the next video.